A shalom, shalom. And before I get started, as always, I want to say call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash, and double honors be unto our apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone that rule well and that do teach well and that taught me this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And peace and blessings be unto the elect, men, women, and children, all right, of the nation of Israel, those of you who believe on the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right, and just coming back at you with another lesson, Lord's will, to edify the lambs, the sheep of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right, and to do what the Lord commanded us to do, which is what? Speak in the ears of his people the words of prophecy, okay, which means to say before, okay, and you know, the latest that's been in the news as of late is, you know, different viruses and such, you know, the Nipah virus, I think it was disease X, okay, you know, and different other plagues, man, and pestilences, all right, as the scripture said would, you know, be happening in these latter days, okay. And I remember Bill Gates said it was years ago, I think it was maybe a year or so after the so-called pandemic, okay, the pandemic, I'm gonna just say it, you know, because it was planned, all right, as this one is gonna be planned, okay, all right, because I remember that devil said, you know, get ready for the next one, okay, and hey, these devils, as they say too, they never let a good crisis go to waste, all right, so as it is written, okay, the mystery of iniquity, all right, it's definitely at work, man, okay, this devil is up to something, so don't be surprised, all right, if America goes back on lockdown, okay, but I'm gonna read some of this, article on the World Health Organization, okay, and they put this out, the WHO, they put this out themselves, okay, so, you know, shows you something's about to go down, man, okay, which we know about the wars, the rumors of wars, but that has to be the perfect event to happen, all right, in order for them to bring in the implementation of this chip, okay, so before the war, the Third World War happens, all right, the MOTB has to be implemented, all right, and like I say, they have to have the perfect crisis, so to speak, to bring it into fruition, man, all right, and what more of a better way to do it than to lock this place down again, okay, you know, so, yeah, man, these are the times that we're entering into, man, okay, and as for us, you know, the prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you know, we were commanded to stand upon our watch, okay, watch as well as pray, okay, and we watch so we can know what times we're in, and so we can warn our people, man, okay, what's getting ready to come down the pipe. But I'm gonna touch in a little bit of this article, and you know, I'm gonna get some precepts, and yeah, Lord will is edifying. And it says 6 years after C19 global alarm, is the world better prepared for the next pandemic? Okay, because this is planned, man. All right, and this is not medicinal information. Okay, but this is planned. Okay, by the devil, the wicked himself, Esau, Edom, man. Okay, we're not ignorant of his devices. Okay, problem, action, solution, man. So everything that's going on throughout the earth right now is leading up to the MOTB. Okay, which eventually is going to lead up to the downfall of Esau, Edom. Okay, but he has to push this MOTB, man. Okay, as it is written, as John on the Isle of Patmos saw. Okay, this in his vision, man. Okay, people getting chipped up and, people walking around with grievous sores. This will happen, man. Okay, so this third world war will not kick off until the servants of Yahweh Shem Shah have been completely tested, man. Okay, with the main one being that mark, the hour of temptation. Okay, which is gonna come upon the whole world. Okay, but mainly to try the men of the Lord, man. Okay, so we can make a choice. All right, and whoever the elect is, which we hope to be, we're gonna pledge our allegiance to Yahweh Shem Shah. We'd rather obey the Most High rather than men. Okay, so we're not gonna, bow down to this devil in his image. Okay, to the beast in his image. All right, because that's showing who you praise. All right, and we praise Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, once again. Okay, and but yeah, I'm gonna read some of this. It says 6 years ago, the Director General of the World Health Organization sounded the highest global alarm available under international law at the time, declaring the outbreak of a new C virus disease, later known as C19, a public health emergency of international concern. While the public health emergency of international concern was declared over May 2023, the impact of COVID, or C19, remains etched in our collective memory and continues to be felt worldwide. As we cross the 6-year mark, WHO asks countries and partners, just as we ask ourselves, is the world better prepared for the next pandemic? Right, so they're letting you know it's gonna be another one. Okay, whether you like it or not. All right, because once again, B. Gates, he said, be ready, get ready for the next one. Letting you know there will be a next one, man. Okay, whether you people are prepared for it or not. It's going to come. Okay? Because this man's the devil, man. His job is to kill, to steal, and to destroy, man. Okay? He, they're over there killing little kids, man. Over there in Palestine. So you think they give a damn about any of you people? Okay? You think your government give a damn about you? Nah, man. This man's the devil, man. The wicked is empowered, man. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Esau, Edom. Okay? No matter where this man goes, wickedness follows, man. That's why he's called the border of wickedness in Malachi 1:4, man. All right? Wherever this devil goes, wickedness follows him, man. Death. Okay? And it says, the answer is yes and no. It says yes, in many ways the world is better prepared because meaningful concrete steps have been taken to strengthen the preparedness. Y'all ain't ready, because it's going to get bad this time. If another lockdown comes, it's going to get bad, okay, to where the lights might get shut off. And then it's game time. All right, then second there's 15 and 16. All right, it's going to come into effect where people invading one another for a lack of bread. Okay. And it's going to happen either way it go, man. Okay. However it happens, however the Lord, sets it up through the Spirit. Okay. And it says, however, at the same time, no, because the progress made is fragile and uneven And more still needs to be done to keep humanity safe. Yeah, all bullshit. You know. But yeah, if you you brothers want to read it, this is the WHO.ENT. Okay, so this is on the World Health Organization website. Okay. Going into 6 years after the C-19's global alarm, is the world better prepared for the next pandemic? I'm not going to read, the whole article, because I don't want to waste, too much time. But the whole point is, the message is, to give the Lord's people warning, all right, as he commanded us. Okay. That danger is coming. Okay, so we're sounding that alarm in the Lord's holy mountain. Okay. Letting our people know that judgment is coming, man. All right. And so if you're wise, okay, you would seek Yahweh Shem Yahushua while he may be found. Okay, if you're not, you're just going to despise the words of the Lord and you're going to be caught out there. All right, you're going to be destroyed, man. Okay, because either way, it's coming. All right, but now let's get into some scriptures. I want to get war, evil, and pestilence. What's that? Jeremiah 28 and 7. Okay, real quick. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 7. And it reads, it says, "Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears and in the ears of all the people." Right? You hear what words? The words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay? Through the mouth of his prophets, man. Okay? That's giving you warning of the times to come. Okay? That it is a high time to wake out of sleep, man. Okay? Because a wise man, a prudent man foreseeth the evil. All right? A prudent man being a man of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay? We see the evil, man. Okay? So that's why the Lord commanded us to give you warning. All right. And it says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. We're hiding ourselves by way of having this understanding, man. All right. The wisdom and knowledge, okay, of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that's keeping us stable in these times. Okay. That's keeping us on guard. Okay. That's keeping us watched up. Okay. The fear of the Lord. Okay. That's the beginning of wisdom. Okay. It's the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. Okay, and to move accordingly. Okay? And it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, all right, the prophets of old, the different patriarchs, all right, our forefathers, okay, it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Right. So the prophets that have been before us, they spoke about these things, man. Okay. The different evils and pestilences and troublesome times that's to come. What's that second? I believe it's either 1st or 2nd Timothy, the 3rd chapter. It spoke about in the latter times that in the latter days, perilous times shall come. Okay, and we're in the latter days, man. And that's why you're seeing all this different evil, okay, plaguing the earth. Okay, people, bugging out and killing each other, people killing their babies. You got ICE everywhere, you're putting people in concentration camps and torturing them. Okay, you got ICE killing people, dragging people out of their homes. You got Esau going to, take people lands from them. The act that happened in Venezuela, with the sonic weapon and people bleeding out the ears and mouth. So we're in some evil times, man. All right. And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, commanded us to warn our people of this. Okay. So that they won't be clueless. Okay. And so also that you won't say that you haven't been warned, man. Okay. And Salakia. But yeah, we're those prophets coming back in their lots. Okay, fulfilling our lots. Okay. In these times. That's prophesying, of war, of evil, and of pestilence, man. All right. And war being the war that's, starting, as we can see, in the Middle East. All right. As it is written, the least of the flock is going to draw them out. Going to draw who out? The U.S. Okay. And that's what we're seeing. The U.S. is going to get involved with anybody who's attacking the small hats over there. Okay. So that's prophecy, man. Okay. And America will be destroyed, as well as, the land of Israel. All right. America is going to be a total desolation. It won't be built up again. It's going to be a monument. All right. But the land of Israel is going to be utterly wiped out, but it's going to be built up again. Okay. Because that's our land. All right. And real quick, Second Ezra 15 and verse 1. All right. Because this is what the Lord commanded us to do, man. This is how we get the blood off our hands. Okay. It's to give Jake warning. All right. Whether you take heed or not, it's up to you. Ultimately, it's up to the Lord. All right. But it'll benefit you to take heed. All right. Because therefore, you won't take part in Jacob's trouble. You won't take part in the lake of fire, which is going to be by thermal nuclear fire. All right. That's going to plague America. Okay. And America's going to look like a big ass lake of fire, according to the Bible. Okay. But this is 2 Ezra 15 and verse 1. It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people. Okay. Who are the Lord's people? Okay. You Israelites. You so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian. All right. The Lord commanded us to speak in the ears of you the words of prophecy, man. Which is to say before. All right. To give you warning. That such and such and such is coming. All right. The war, the evil, the pestilence, man. All right. And as once again, it'll benefit you to get in line and seek the Lord while he may be found before it's too late. Okay. Versus trying to seek him during your affliction. Okay. And he mock when your fear cometh. Okay. And it says, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. Right. So Yahweh Shemi Shai put these words in our mouth. Okay. Because, we didn't know we was going to be here. Some brothers wanted to be ball players, rappers, actors, whatever you wanted to be, prior to waking up to this truth. Okay. Which shows you that the Lord put these words in our mouth. Okay. These are the words of Yahweh Shemi Shai. We're just getting in line. Okay. We were called into this thing, and Lord willing, we're chosen. All right. And it says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Right? The prophecies. Okay, the words of Yahweh Shemi Shai. All right, the Lord is bringing them to life, man. He's showing you people that a prophet is among you. Okay, and eventually when shit really hit the fan, then you people gonna know a prophet was amongst you. All right? Because it's gonna get so bad out here, the Lord is gonna make you call it to mind that, that he had men out here warning you, man. Okay, for what was to come. All right, for what to prepare for spiritually. All right, but 2/3 is going to be left behind and they're going to be destroyed, man. All right, this is only for the elect. As our apostles and on down, as we teach. This ain't given unto everybody to know the mysteries of the kingdom. All right, it's only given unto the elect. And it says, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Right. So the incredulity meaning the unbelief. All right. Romans 3:3 tells you, for what if some did not believe? Shall that make the faith of Yahweh Shemi Shai without effect? Nah. All right. Because at the end of the day, as it says in that same chapter, Let Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai be true and every man a liar, man. All right, so that's what's gonna be showed, okay, that the Lord was true and everybody else was a damn lie, man. Okay, that they were serving the God of their belly. Okay, they didn't believe on the Lord as the scripture has said. All right, Jake, have committed two evils, like it is written. They have forsaken the Lord, the fountains of living water, and they, what it said, let me get it. I'm gonna get it, because this is what Jake have done, man. They committed two evils. They forgot about the Lord. So therefore, when all trouble and all hell comes upon you, 2/3, the Lord is going to forget you and your children. All right. He's not going to be there to defend you. Unlike he, will be there for his elect. Okay. This is Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 13. It says, "For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me." Right. And Jake forgot about the Lord, man. All right. They don't even consider. Okay. Jake have completely learned the ways of the heathen, man. All right. The ways of the wicked has completely seduced our people. All right. And they have no want, no desire to turn back to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. And it says they have forsaken me, the fountains of living water, and hewed them out cisterns. All right. A cistern is something that holds water, like a well, so to speak. Okay. So our people have hewn them out cisterns. All right. Once again, something that holds water, a well, broken cisterns that can hold no water. All right. Meaning that can hold no truth, no understanding. All right. Our people is all over the place. Okay. They're into this religion. They're into that religion. They're confused, man. All right. And a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay. But, yeah, man. This is what's getting ready to come down the pipe. So as it is written, we got to make ourselves ready, all right, to the battle, man, this spiritual battle. Okay, and continue to set our houses in order, man, our mind, okay, and hasten, all right, to be fleed from these times, man. Okay, hasten the coming of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and that new heaven, that new earth that dwelleth righteousness, man. All right, and I'm going to clip it right here. And without further ado, Lord will, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, by Shem Rakak. Lord willing, it was edifying unto the elect. And until next time, I'm going to say Shalom.